Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing, where you like, subscribe, and share for a one-of-a-kind, company-made, probability-based trading alert, technical analysis, company philosophy. And we got to get a couple of things off the chest here. One, jabroni killers will be coming live so you can sidestep and audible and fleece, heist, and shiest the market manipulators and the whales that slosh around the market, right? And they try to take all your fucking money. But I do notice I do watch other YouTube stations, my brothers and everybody else, and I do read comments. I don't comment a lot in other people's feeds and news feeds and whatnot, but I do see and sniff out, and I diagnose, sniff out, and detect too, not only the price, but I do see. And I do want to spotlight right now, because usually I don't do this because I don't talk about other people's stations, nor do I talk about other people commenting in other people's stations about what other people may or may not have said. But when I see a charlatan out there in the waters, I got to call him out, right? And I love each and every one of you. And the guy that I'm going to call out, you have been on the channel, I'm assuming for a while, because I do see you comment, but you are a snake oil salesman also, because you're calling out people saying that they say one thing and then something happens and then they alter or audible or maybe see what's going on and change what they're thinking short term. And you're saying that they're doing things that they're not doing, but you are one of the biggest snake oil and charlatans that I see out here, Mr. Martin Luther King Jr., which there is no way that you have any relations with Martin Luther King Jr., because he was a man of honor and integrity. And you, Mr. Martin Luther King Jr., come on here every so often and call me out about my price forecasting with XRP, right? And you told me back, I told you, you're my indicator of season change. When I see you start to comment, it confirms that the season is changing from, in this case, winter to spring. The last time I heard from Mr. Martin Luther King Jr. over here, a guy that's a fraud and a shyster and a phony and an impersonator, told me that XRP would never go below $1 back in late October, late September, early October, when XRP was pumping from under $1 to about $1.12, and I had an XRP forecast of 72 cents, and XRP ended up going to 72 cents. But when this guy was talking, our forecast and my forecast at Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing was for XRP to come up to $1.20, get rejected, and then trade down to 72 cents, and that indeed did happen, right? But this shyster was coming on touting that he was going to be right. XRP was never going to go below $1 again. And then he conveniently erased his comment. But I screenshot and take these all. And then he comes out the next time that we heard from him now, and that was a season change from fall to winter. And now we're 3 months later in late winter when we were in late fall before. And now we had a little bit of a pump in XRP last week. So he started talking about his shysterness going on, right? And saying that I'm wrong and all this shit, when I've been on top of this and out of what's going on, right? So he's a shyster. I see you in my comment section, right? So if you guys are following XRP Future Millionaire and you see this Martin Luther King Jr. with his comments, right? He is more or less a shyster, a snake oil salesman, and a charlatan. He just tries to stir up some shit, stir some bullshit out, right? And he's just a shyster. He's a guy that doesn't make good decisions in life, can't seem to get on top of his game, and doesn't understand what's going on. So all he knows how to do is try to spew some nonsense and some baloney and try to stir pot. He's just a shyster, right? So pay attention. We all love you, each and every one of you, and I'm not a guy that'll ever... The only comments I remove are the bullshit, the spam, right? Even like Martin Luther King, never removed the comment, right? You can say whatever you want, but what he's saying about whatever you're saying, he's just a shyster. And read and listen to what he says in the comments. He's in a lot of different YouTube channels that he does. He does the same thing. So just take it with a grain of salt and don't take anything to heart or any belief in what Mr. Martin Luther King Jr. impersonator in my comment section is saying. And you should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm ashamed for you for using that name from a great man. That his name was a man of integrity and honor, when you're a shyster and the anti-integrity and honor, and you're the exact opposite of that great man, Martin Luther King Jr. And in this great month, Black History Month, you should change your name. And I denounce you for using that great man's name and using it in the name of his shyster, right? Because Martin Luther King was a man of honor, integrity, right? And you are the anti-honor and integrity. And I believe, my man, unless that is your true name, which I highly doubt, your name is the same as that great man, I would change that name, because you have neither honor or integrity as that great man Martin Luther King Jr. did. He was one of honor and one of integrity, right? And that is neither you. And now as we move on, you can see I was not, though. You do have that right, Martin Luther King Jr. Vincenzo, you were calling Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing out for whatever, but I did not once make a big Super Bowl pump. I did not have one video that called for a Super Bowl anything. I have laid out where I thought we are bearish since last year and this week, and I laid out what I thought was going on, and it indeed did hold true. We're still flirting just above in the Bitcoin, that orange ring underneath where that arrow is, the orange arrow at about 40, what is it, 1 or 42,000 down there, descending. I feel like we got to back test that. And then if we ever are going to try to make a run up to 52,000, you got to back test and hold that as support. But I think you're going to fail that, trade to 39, and then eventually trade down to 32. And then, as you do know, the long-standing call by Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, right, is for a late 2022 price target of $18,950 is where Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, with that big yellow arrow. I think by late 2022, you're going to be at $18,000 or below. And then possibly by the beginning of 2023, $8,700. That has not changed, and Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing stands behind that. The Dogecoin, the same thing. You got that big arrow that's been sitting there. You got that blue ring that's chilling right here. If we can hit that, it's always a pain in the ass. Oh, there it is. So if we hit that, you can see that blue ring right there that's in the background. Let's make that a little brighter, right, where that big arrow is. And that descending line in lighter blue coming from top left to bottom right is the falling channel. And we've been touting this as your support zone. And if you break down from that, you're going to trade all the way down. That's the blue arrow. You're going to trade all the way down to this yellow support box, the AKA last line of defense, or get my shit together zone, to the shit house, which is in red down there at 8.5 cents. That starts at, if you can't hold this support on the blue ring that you see by the yellow arrow. And then you got the lighter blue descending falling channel support, right? You're coming down to 8.5 cents if you can't hold that. The XRP, we've had this descending symmetrical triangle that you broke down out of, and then we broke back into that. We've been out of and 69.69 steps out of the competition in the YouTube shysters and charlatans, just like that Martin Luther King Jr. in the comment section. Unfortunately, I gotta say, he's a shyster and a charlatan, even though the true, real Martin Luther King Jr. is a great honor and integrity man, right? But unlike that shyster in the comment section. And this, again, is trading down, and we think it's going to trade back towards that 47 cents lower support, right? Or not 47 cents, that's 72 cents where their yellow arrow is, lower support. And then if you can't hold that, you trade down to the 47 cents, right? And if you can hold that 72 cents, then you can trade back up to 90 cents, right? But I don't think you're going to 90 cents. I think you're going to trade down. Just as I've said, you've been very bearish. Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. Peace and love. Peace and love.